Yep. You already know. When you hear that music,
another one
is on the way. And we getting ready to
run it up, run it up.
No doubt. No doubt. So, obviously, people that been rocking with Boss Cowboy Sports for a while know I hardly ever do Saturday shows. I hardly ever do Friday shows. So when you see me just pop up on Saturday, or you see me pop up on Friday, it's important. It's something that I see as time sensitive. It's something that I see that we can't wait. That we need to have this conversation now. I can't wait till Monday. I can't wait till Sunday. I need to talk about this now. So, obviously, the breaking issue that everybody is finally talking about is Kellen Moore. And so I'm going to tell you that the arranged marriage between Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy was doomed from the start. Doomed. Yeah. Doomed. Gone. Impossible to really work at its optimum level. Just impossible. So we go keep this simple, because you know it's easy to get caught up in, oh boss, we're balanced under Kellen Moore. Oh boss, oh we do run the ball. Oh boss, oh you blaming Kellen Moore. Oh boss, I think it's Dak. Now we go keep this simple today. We go back to very, very elementary level. We ain't gonna even dig into all them deep details and all of that. We go just kind of just talk about it from common sense, man. It's gonna be a whole lot of common sense. But first, you gotta make sure
you want answers.
You gotta make sure first you want answers, and you gotta make sure
you can't handle the truth,
because that's what you go get today. So y'all just sit back, man. I'll be right back. Come on. Yeah, we gonna talk today, man. This arranged marriage between Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. It was doomed. Yeah. From the start. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. Y'all come on in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. And obviously, Kellen Moore is finally major headline talking news. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, this should have been the case, and it should have been this loud about Kellen Moore last year. Because it was church mouse quiet. Hold on real quick, the OC calling me. What's up, bro? I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Let me call you back. All right. So, it was church mouse quiet. All right. So, last year. So before I kind of get into what I'm getting ready to talk about, all right, And I see y'all coming in the building. I see y'all, Coach Marv, Robert Cherry, Ken, Michael Lockhart, Jake the Great, E. Swain, Amp, Keystone, D.A. Elite, John. I see y'all coming in, man. I can't keep naming. Queen, Rev, Nisi, Tommy. I see y'all in the house. But this is the deal. We gonna keep this simple. But before we kind of get into the content, I gotta kind of address something that's important. That's very important, because anytime you start talking about Kellen Moore, or even if you start talking about problems in the offense, you tend to get character questions. So I'm gonna show you an example. Just so we can get our mind right. Okay. So the OC did a fantastic video. It's doing real good right now. You know, he did a video on the real reasons why the Dallas Cowboys lost to the 49ers. Okay. So, you know, when you start talking concepts, and especially if you start talking about concepts, sometimes people just disagree, right? Or it's a whole lot of people that really believe. Now, hear me out. It's some people that really believe that, and it's not just with the Cowboys, they believe this in general. They in general believe that quarterbacks supposed to be able to pull teams out of any dysfunction. They feel if your quarterback is good enough, you should be able to overcome bad defenses, drop balls. You should be able to overcome bad coaching, bad schemes, because you're that good. And they really believe that. And so when people believe that, and people like me and the OC might come in with a difference of opinion, a lot of times what'll happen is we'll be viewed as disingenuous just because we disagree. And what happens sometimes is people start doing slick shot name calling. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. So the OC, now I want y'all, if y'all remember when we lost to San Fran, the OC was coming at your boy Boss hard. Like we was having real debates about Dak. It was real. I don't think I ever hit this button this much. Me and the OC was almost non-stop going back and forth about Dak. So everybody that watch Boss Cowboy Sports know that sometimes, or the final word, sometimes, you know, smart people can see things differently. It happens. But some of us make the mistake that when we do see things differently, we start questioning people's motives. So this guy, Jonas, said, I guess Garrett Stidham is the second coming and just a late bloomer, because the Raiders ate this cover 6. Because the OC did a breakdown of the cover 6. He said, for lunch a few weeks ago, LOL, another it ain't Dak, it's the OC. What a freaking joke. I don't have to show film. They run crosses, the run seam, routes, everything. You trying to get, see, this is where some of y'all need to grow up. This is where a lot of y'all need to grow up when it starts being stuff like this. You trying to get your likes. I get it. But it's a load of BS. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, because I disagree with you, why you gotta question my motives? Why you gotta question the OC's motives? And a lot of y'all already know the OC was very critical of Dak. Very. Like, we was going back and forth on this. And then he hit him with another slick shot talking about good luck. Don't quit your day job. Yeah, that's cute. But let me click on this dude and see. Oh, this channel does not have any content. Where your content, homie? Where your content, homie? So you go take a shot at my homie OC. Now y'all saw me in the OC fight on this. It was with respect though. It was no questioning. Now he did say one time, fanboy, but he was just dog. The OC knows I'm not a fanboy. Trust me on that. He was just messing with me. He knows that. You know what I mean? So the OC is the only dude that I would ever let out a sneak diss, because I know with him he just playing. He know my heart. So we got a super chat. He said, "Boss, I totally agree with OGOC, because I'm saying all through the San Fran game, we must attack downfield." You was on that defense, absolutely. And we got the OC in the building. What's up, man?
Salute, man. What's up, boss?
Going on. The Wi-Fi monster might need you to come out and come. Okay, you good? You did it twice. But before I get into this, I just want to first kind of address motives, because it's like when people disagree, the first thing they start saying is, "Oh, you support Dak. Oh, you a Dak apologist. Oh, you a Dak rider." It's like, no, it's sometimes we just see it different, dog. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, man. So rehash to me, because I didn't see that comment, man. I've been working on content and working.
Wi-Fi monster got you.
No. Okay. All right. Again.
Yeah. So when the OC come back, I'll catch him up on what happened. But yeah, somebody took a shot at the homie. And see, that happens, and it actually gets annoying. Because we disagree, I just want to say this first, just to set the groundwork. Because we disagree does not mean that any one of us have what my boy Landlord would say, nefarious motives. And see, I want to say that first. Sometimes before we get into these disagreements, first we got to set the groundwork that sometimes both sides got to be open for the other side's thought. But if you got your mind made up, this channel or nobody channel is not going to do you any good, because you're already convinced on what you think you know. So I want to set the groundwork on that before we kind of get into the content. Oh, see you back? I see you back. You still pixelated though. Just keep working with it, OC. Keep working with it. Keep working with it, because you pixelated right now. I keep going.
Yeah.
You real pixelated. You might have to come out and come back in. So, but check this out. So we go just kind of get into the common sense of this, okay? And I called in to 105.3 The Fan, and they allowed me to give my take, and I appreciate that. So y'all check this out, and then we go break this down. We go keep this real simple. It's gonna be real simple today. Check this out.
What was the name?
Cliff, Coach Bro.
Oh.
There's something about Cliff that just gives me a little bit of hesitation. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But the offense didn't work in Arizona, and I just thought he had a perfect guy to do it with in Kyler. And
I think head coach is too much for him.
And that might be
it. Might be the quarterback might be too much.
You could be right. I mean, maybe
he's trying to knowing, hey, this guy's the face of the franchise and all this, that, and the other. So he's not trying to piss the guy off. You know, I think it'd be interesting to see with Cliff just being.
I wouldn't mind
just being the OC, not having to worry about all the head coaching aspects of the game.
Sometimes it looked like Kyler was daddy in those interactions.
Exactly.
It really did. Okay, line 3 is Marcus. You're in the G-Bag Nation.
That's my real name.
What you drinking? What you thinking?
Yeah, I'm drinking a little bit of Ozarka water.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking is a couple of things. Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore was doomed from the beginning, and he actually said it himself in the press conference after Tampa, when he said he wasn't a fan of the option routes. And he also said that he'd never been in a system that ran option routes as aggressive as Kellen Moore. So how can a marriage work from the beginning when it was automatically known that they was both on two different directions? And Mike McCarthy even said...
Yeah, so let's pause. So I talked about it right there. Let's show Mike McCarthy actually say it.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no,
I've never been a big option route thrower or concept in the past.
So let's just stop right there. We ain't got to talk about option routes and what's the balance and how many times does Kellen Moore throw the ball and what's the identity. No. Let's just start with the foundation of a relationship. OC, you back?
I'm back, man. See if I'm good. I went to the browser.
Okay, cool. So let me just say this point and we'll talk about this. Let's just start from the foundation of any relationship. If I start a relationship and we from the beginning are on two different pages, it's not gonna work. Hit the alarm. Hit the alarm. Warning, warning. This relationship is headed to disaster. Y'all starting your relationship on two different pages. The OC said something that was profound the other day. And it was regarding Dak. He said, Dak, don't take accountability for what you don't control. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. But that applies. But that applies for Mike McCarthy. Like, how we go hold Mike McCarthy accountable when he said himself, I don't agree with what my OC is doing. OC, what's your thoughts on that?
At the end of the day, guys, that you gotta have synergy and you gotta be synergistic in terms of your philosophies. You have to have continuity. This might be a better word. If you don't have continuity in an organization from the top down, you know, if you have two visions, that's God vision, right? And that's an old saying. And you cannot have two heads. If you got two heads, that's called a monster. It's a freak. So, you know, you got in this environment that you got monstrous, freakish activity going on. You got one guy that's in favor of option routes. You got another guy that's not in favor of option routes. You got one guy in favor of controlling the ball through your two best assets over all your running backs. You got another guy in favor of throwing the ball more than 40 times a game. So, you know, you're going to have freakish outcomes. And you were right on this. And this is where Ball Cowboy needs his flowers, in my opinion. You were right on. It was really just phenomenal. It was almost a miracle that the Cowboys got as far as they got with the two different, the polar opposite things that are in terms of the philosophies of this offense, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. See, that part is amazing that we got as far as we got with the head coach. And my boss said Mike Fisher needs to hear this in his interview. He didn't think Mike McCarthy said that about option routes. Well, just clip out this part and send it to Mike Fisher. Sometimes people don't know, you know, and when they know, then they change what they say. You know, it's a possibility because, you know, you had to catch that part or you had to be paying attention during that period to catch it. You know what I'm saying? But I caught it, you know, thank God. But no, and then somebody else said that Mike McCarthy, let me look at this. Somebody said Mike McCarthy said that we need option routes in today's NFL. I ain't never see Mike McCarthy say that. Now hold on, let me go back. Let me go see this real quick.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower or concept in the past.
Yeah. So what that sound like he's saying to me, OC, is that he's never been option route fan or thrower. Am I hearing that right, or am I making that up? Is that something, or did I basically have a almost direct quote? What's going on here? Is what's happening?
Direct quote, Boss Cowboy. At the end of the day, if the man said he don't option routes, the man don't like option routes. I mean, it don't matter. Like, if you ask me, I don't like meatloaf. You know, you say, well, do you like your meatloaf made on 375, 325? I don't like meatloaf. Do you like your meatloaf with ketchup on top, or would you prefer to have, you know, tomato sauce? I don't like meatloaf. Well, how would you like your meatloaf made? Would you like eggs in your meatloaf, or would you like it made with turkey meat, or would you like it made with ground beef? I don't like meatloaf. It's the same. It's the same answer. So that's what I'm saying to make the point here. The man said that he's never really been in favor of option routes. And guys, and don't be so high on your horse that you don't understand. That this guy is a championship goat. Regardless of what you say and your angst against him, or if you don't like him, if you like Hatter, the guy is a championship goat.
And then Coach Maul with the super chat said, I know OC and Boss agrees with this also. Not only the passing game has flaws, but the run game coordination is flawed. Also, fellas, please address it. Yeah, we might not be able to address that right now, Coach Maul, because that's a whole nother video. You know what I'm saying? And and when you're doing this, I don't want to scatter thoughts. I want to keep this thought focused. Like on this marriage and the fact that it was an arranged marriage. It was arranged. So, OC, when you got married, was it arranged or did you choose your wife out of love and compatibility? How did you choose your wife, sir?
Well, man, I chose Mrs. OC out of love and compatibility. It's how I chose it.
So that means you wanted her.
Yes.
Nobody
Yes.
made you marry her.
No, nobody made me. Nobody made me do it. So let me say this though, boss, about arranged marriages, because this is important. I'm sorry I froze. Am I okay right now?
You good, go.
Okay. So here's the deal about arranged marriages, right? So
You might have to talk up. They saying they can barely hear you. I'm sorry.
Hold on one second. Let me get my volume up. Is that better?
Much better. Much better.
Okay, great. All right, cool. So let me say this about arranged marriages. So when you have arranged marriages in certain nationalities and cultures, you have the two families that meet. The two families meet and they agree in principle about the relationship and the terms of the marriage. So if you do have an arranged marriage, here's the difference in the era with the Dallas Cowboys is that they never came to terms. Nobody came to terms. Mike McCarthy side and the Jones side, they never came to terms. It was, you have to take this as a condition of the marriage. And that was the issue. Nobody ever agreed and came to terms.
Right. Yeah. So just talking about it from common sense. We don't gotta get, and this is why, let me be all the way honest. That's why this alleged Kellen Moore watch is insulting. We shouldn't be watching to see if Kellen Moore is going to stay. It is automatically, and it should be automatically known that he has to go because we now know too much. One of the weakest songs in the world that's currently played on the radio with Bill Callahan, our run game was unstoppable. I feel you, Q. And we'll talk about that. And I trust me, we go talk about this run game. We go do a video on the run game, and then we go talk about the concepts of the run game. But this is the deal, going back to Kellen Moore. One of the most insulting songs that's out right now is that song that say, I don't wanna know if you plan me, keep it on the low. 'Cause my heart can't take it anymore.
Oh man.
Dog, my boy man West Coast talked about that. He say, man, that song set men back 20 years. I was like, bruh, what kind of man are you to where you don't want to know when your woman cheating on you because of your heart? See, this is the deal. Some of us like that as Cowboy fans. Because of our heart, we don't want to know the truth. We just want to hope. But anyway, I ain't gonna go there. But this is the big picture of what I'm saying, though. We know too much now. Like, I can't put back in the bottle the knowledge that my head coach is not a fan of the OC's aggressive option routes. And my boss said, and it gets worse real quick. real quick. It gets worse. Listen.
Have with the receiver, like them, and it's part of the old traditional West option routes. You need to live in that world. That's been my experience. You can't dab on it. You know, option routes are really not part of the old traditional West Coast offense. I've had quarterbacks in the past that didn't really like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. You know, this is the most aggressive system that I've been in, as far as many people that do run the option routes.
This is the most what?
System that I've been in, this is the most aggressive system that I've been in. Only certain guys run them. You know, this is the most aggressive system that I've been in.
I cannot unknow that OC. I just can't, bro. We got us a super chat. He said arranged marriage shows its biggest problem when the lights are on in the biggest moments. Big game in playoffs. Facts.
Let me address something real quick, Boss Cobb. I'm looking at this comment in CB4L. Please explain yourself. You said that Kellen Moore is a top 4 coordinator. Imagine if he has a quarterback. What are you talking about here? See, I don't get that kind of comment here, because if Kellen Moore was a top 4 coordinator, we would be in the semifinals getting ready to have a chance to play for a Super Bowl. Don't come in here and say things like that. I really, really disagree with that. And I want you to get some more color. Who in your mind, sir, whoever you may be, are the best coordinators and why? Explain why you think Kellen Moore is a top 4 coordinator. Because based upon a variety of evidence, and I got more evidence and film coming out tomorrow, and I have a video coming out later today, which will break down what is a championship offense. And I'm going to debunk that theory. But why do you say that? That's the question. Why do you say that? Go ahead, boss. I'm sorry.
And see, this is the thing. That's why I started with these people that like to call out our motives because we don't see it. Because some people really, that's why I said earlier, some people really do see the game like a quarterback supposed to overcome everything. Bad play calling, bad defenses, drop balls, it doesn't matter. But that's how they see the game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they see the game like that. See, but then when you give them facts, like, so if Kellen Moore is a top coordinator and all he needs is a better quarterback, why does his offense only works with the quarterback Dak? Because we saw a whole bunch of quarterbacks under Kellen Moore's system, and every one of them was matter of fact, that's not the right button. This is the right button. This is it. Yeah. This one. Yeah. No, this one. That's what the offense was without Dak. But see, then when you give them a fact, they'll say, you just like Dak. You just supporting Dak. Dak can do no wrong with you. All right,
No. Listen, here's the deal, man. So, and that's the $5 super chat. Said,
we got 2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. All right, so cool. What did he say? Let me read the first one.
OC knows this G blocks inside and out. Counter trade, slow down DL, and aggressive linebackers. That is why San Fran run game is so potent. In 2014, we did that. And then Amp with a super chat said, he said, the problem is they gave an untrained dog a long leash. Bro, clap it up for Amp. Clap it up.
Man, that's facts. That's facts.
Go ahead, OC.
No, and here's a couple other things, man, that people really, really got to get their mind around. And I want to just highlight this, is that, Kellen Moore comes out and says, hey guys, I was the first runner-up not to get the Panthers job. hey, look at me, I'm doing good. They almost hired me. Okay, so listen, if you're that good, if you're that phenomenal, the last 2 years, why in the world are you still here? Why are you
Ooh.
still here? Because if you're that good, somebody would have backed up the Brinks truck to your home in North Texas and, hey, Kellen, we got to have you, Kellen. Come in here. We love your philosophy. Why is it that Sean McVay could interview being around your same age and get the head coaching job for the LA Rams?
God damn.
Does he competency? Is he smarter? Is he more creative? How about Nick Sirianni, the head coach that's playing in the NFC Championship game tomorrow? Young guy, less than 40 years old. How could he interview and get the head coaching job of one of the most historic organizations in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles, and lead them to the NFC Championship if you were that good? Tell me that. So how in the world are you a top 4 coordinator? This is not so. Furthermore, second thing, we hadn't touched on this, Boss Cowboy. Maybe I could do a separate video about this. There is a relationship dysfunction. Have you ever had a child that talked to their parents like they're friends?
Yep.
Like tell their mom to shut up, tell their mom to sit down, tell their mom they're not doing that. It's a dysfunctional relationship. And the whole issue with Dak's maturity, his development, and this Kellen Moore experiment that the Cowboys are committed to, they're committed to the Kellen Moore experiment.
Yep.
Okay, that's what this is. It's an experiment. That's really what this is.
That's what it is.
You got two peers. You got two peers. One a coach, one a player. And Kellen Moore is riding on the talent and the determination of Dak Prescott to make his system work.
Yep.
That's what's going on here. Okay? These guys were peers. These guys sat in the same rooms together as backup quarterbacks for the Dallas Cowboys right before Kellen Moore got that job. It is not a mentor to a student relationship,
Nope.
which is the ideal scenario for Dak, and that's what he really needs, and that's why he flourished underneath John Kitna.
Yep.
Because he was a true older guy that could mentor him as a quarterback coach and help him develop and get his game to the next level. Now you have two peas in a pod, almost brothers, but this is a dysfunctional brother relationship because you're being a brother to a guy that's really thinks of you as a stepbrother. And it's a user relationship. That's what this is. And the issue is that Dak Prescott has not stepped up and understood that at the end of the day, the blame comes to you in this organization, and they protect the favorite son. That's what's going on here because they didn't really want to pay you this paper. And that is the whole issue here, that you have to understand that, man, I'm not getting used by you to try to make your system work to my own detriment and to this team's detriment. And that's the whole problem.
That's the whole problem right there. And so this is the deal. So that's why I said, let's keep it simple. We can get into, are we balanced? We can get into how many pass attempts and how many rush attempts, and we can get into all the minutia and the details. But let's just keep it simple. Just real simple. Why would any one of us expect this marriage to be successful when your OC is allowed to run an offense that your head coach has openly said he don't approve of? See, don't be like that song. Don't be like that song. I don't wanna know about my Dallas Cowboys keeping it on the low. Cause my heart can't take it anymore. Don't be that dude, bro.
Okay, let me address QB4L because I think that he's almost in trouble. He said name 5 better OCs or they have better quarterbacks. Let me just go ahead and give you 4. The 4 better OCs are the ones that we have playing in these NFC and AFC championship games. Another one will be the Miami Dolphins, okay? All right, he's a really good OC. He's done a fantastic job. Another one may be the Chargers OC. He's done a really good job. I just gave you how many now? I gave you 6. Another really good OC with a healthy Lamar Jackson is up in Baltimore as well. I just gave you 7. And all those are not better quarterbacks than Dak Prescott. All right, quarterbacks, namely Lamar Jackson, namely Tua in Miami. Okay, so please go away. Thank you. Go ahead.
Man, this is the. Let me just go and just shut that. Let me just shut that up, bro. Because this is what get on my nerves. See, when me and you talking OC, they say, you guys are just YouTubers. What do you got a problem with Kellen? What Kellen do to y'all?
Is that our offense is antiquated, because they want somebody to be designing more schemes to get people open as opposed to what we were just talking about, allowing your man to beat somebody with time. Now, I put a lot of what happened with Dak on Kellen Moore.
Okay, so yeah. So the OC just a YouTuber. He's a Dak apologist. He's a Dak writer. Boss Cowboy, he just likes Dak. He rides for Dak. Okay. Well, this is the deal, bro. Let me just keep it real. What's really going on is that actually I agree with Hall of Famers. Okay? And I was saying it before they did. I started talking about Kellen Moore and the risk of Kellen Moore last year. I was talking about the power dilemma before this ever blew up in our face. It's already a video record of me talking about this before Emmett, before Aikman, before all of them boys. Yeah. So this power dilemma been there. I already got the references. I got video after video after video after video after video where I was warning. Now everybody want to talk about it. But now what's happening is this. And let me just say it like this. If I'm talking and I'm talking about the problems of the offense, and if I'm saying stuff that sound like Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Warner, Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and now Bill Parcells, and you sound like Shady McCoy and Dan Orlovsky, maybe you need to double check your thought process, dog.
And let me just say this to CB4. He said all have better quarterbacks. Give Kellen Moore those quarterbacks. That's a joke.
Let me say that again, man. Forget that dude. I'm sick of him.
Yeah.
Forget him.
Yeah. So let me address one more thing before I stop this, because I don't want to seem like I'm picking on you, man. Because at the end of the day, man, you cannot present data. You can't put data in the chat to prove that they're a better quarterback. You cannot do that because they're not. Statistically, they're not better than Dak Prescott. So please, man, please stop. So if you can show data, put the data in the chat, screenshot it. Put it
He
in the
can't,
chat.
and he won't.
He can't. Exactly. He can't do it.
He can't,
right?
and he won't. And see, this is the
You're
thing.
You're a Kellen Moore fan. We are a Dallas Cowboy podcast, and we believe in best idea wins.
Right.
And we don't care who's the quarterback or the OC. That's the issue.
Right.
I don't care who's the
Right.
OC or who's the quarterback. I'm telling you the situation, and I'm reporting what it is. And that's just the truth, man. So it's cool. But your voice matters, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, dog. We appreciate you. And at least he's debating without name calling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's debating us without name calling. But this is the thing, bro. Show your work, bro. Because we showing our work.
Well, on Kellen Moore.
CD Lamb just wasn't utilized enough. Like in the last game that they lost, he was only targeted a couple of times. You got one of the more exciting receivers in the entire league, and you don't target it. You throw to a tight end that's going to give you 10 yards. So there were some issues, especially there, in that last ball game.
Yeah.
I looked at what we did. I thought we offensively tried to feature some guys that we went away from our playmakers.
Mm-hmm. And boss like Dak. Do Emmett like Dak? See, let me talk about this real quick. Because, see, I'm frankly getting tired of, people sneak dissing us because we think different, bro. This ain't the first time this happened. See, when we was disagreeing about Lyle Collins and Terrence Steele, we was called out by a bigger Dallas Cowboy YouTuber publicly called us biased. It's like, bruh, we can disagree with you without you staining our reputation and our brand, bro. And see, we all got to get to that, to where we learn how to disagree. First of all, show your work, because I ain't interested in a bunch of feelings. And I just, you boss a Dak fan and the OC a Dak fan. Y'all didn't see me and the OC fighting? Me and the OC was fighting all post game. But this is the difference. When me and the OC fight, we really fighting to try for the truth to rise up. So I'm gonna punch hard. He go punch hard. Eventually, somebody gonna make sense out of us two. One of us will yield to the truth, not to the OC, not to me. We go once you make your case and prove it, we yield to the truth. But along the way, sometimes you gotta confront it. You gotta have a fight. But all these motives and all that, you trying to do this for likes, you trying to do this for clicks. The OC, a Dak fan, man, y'all go watch the post game. But the OC was, man, he was on Dak head. Boy, he was. I was like, pause, dog, pause, dog. He was like, no, boss.
Go watch my last video and I give you a fair, balanced analysis of where I think Dak falls in terms of the hierarchy of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I've never said Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in the league. Neither has Boss Cowboy.
No.
We've never been placated and said he's the top guy. He's the numero uno. He's the best. We've never done that. And especially me, I've never done that. And I'll give you my real analysis about Dak Prescott. And I think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. I think he falls right underneath the elite quarterbacks in the league. I think he's right at that hedge line. That's where I think. I don't think he's the top dog. I'm just being real. That's what I think. So anyway.
So from common sense, let's start it from this standpoint. We started from the number one point. First of all, a marriage is doomed when you going in with two different expectations. It's already doomed. Example, you find love when your wife brings you plates. That's your love language. You like acts of service. She says to you, I ain't doing it because I'm independent. It's over. It's over. It ain't gonna work, dog. It's not gonna work because the expectations going in are different. Let's just keep it simple like that. We ain't got to get into the X's and O's and Dak is elite and all it is. Let's just keep it simple right there. Yo, OC working for your head coach is on record. On record. You cannot unknow that. Let's get into the second part. Watch this.
That they had to win an identity when they was winning with Cooper Rush running the ball. Kellen Moore comes out that exact same week and say sometimes we're gonna have to throw it. A direct contradiction. So how many?
So let's talk about that. So I'm talking on the fan, and I'm telling them, how are we even in a Kellen Moore watch when it's obvious he a major issue? Because Mike McCarthy, OC, came out and said this.
Like a running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony and 15 for Zeke. Is that kind of what you want?
Well, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's, really stems off what, we just talked about. It's, you got two guys that are feature players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them, it makes no difference to me personally. But
flavor. There's going to be games where we're going to need to throw it. There's a lot of games and there's a lot of different approaches to this thing, and so as we go, we got to be able to play a few different styles, and that's important throughout the season in the NFL.
Like a running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony and 15 for Zeke. Is that kind of what you want?
Well, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's really stems off what we just talked about. It's you got two guys that are feature players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them, it makes no difference to me personally. But
flavor. There's going to be games where we're going to need to throw it. There's a lot of games and there's a lot of different approaches to this thing, and so as we go, we got to be able to play a few different styles, and that's important throughout the season in the NFL.
So you got your head coach saying this is our winning formula. You got your OC saying there's gonna be some games that we're gonna come with different styles. You got your head coach saying this is the winning formula. Getting behind Zeke and Pollard. You got your OC saying it's gonna be games. It don't even matter who right. It's the fact that they're on two different pages. What's up on that, OC? We want to hear your commentary.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, here's the problem. The problem is that the parents never set the table appropriately.
Yep. Speak up a little bit, OC.
You see, the Jones family, let me adjust this stuff a little bit. So the Jones family did this, Cowboy. The Jones family did this.
Yep.
Because they wanted the Trojan horse in the building to maintain their form of pseudo control. It was their safety net not to give up complete control when they hired Mike McCarthy. Because really they're intimidated by his resume, and they wanted to be sure that they didn't have anybody in the building like a Bill Parcells, like a Jimmy Johnson, trying to run over the top of them like happened before. But the best thing for them is what they don't want. I'm going to say that again. The best thing for the front office is things they really don't want. A strong-minded, determined coach that makes declarative alpha decisions and don't let you impede in terms of the organization as it relates to the players and how we run and play football. That's the issue here, Boss Cowboy. And so they set this up, and the parents didn't set the table right. And so now they left Kellen Moore in there, and they hired a coach that's going to have to come in and fight with a young OC who's not on his level. You know, it's real hard when you got a kid to tell your that, man, stay away from that oven. Stay away from that oven. Please stop. Stay away from that. Don't do that. No. Please stop. Stay away. No, you're going to get burned. You're going to get burned. Stop. I don't want to see you hurt. You're going to get burned. No. Got your butt burned. And I told you, I was warning you, I'm trying to help you, so you think I don't want you to have fun. I'm trying to protect you and help you. And that's the whole issue here with Mike. You just don't want me to pass the ball. You don't want me to throw the ball. You don't want me to have fun. You don't like my offense. You just want me to run the ball. Running the ball is boring. I want to throw the ball. I want to throw the ball all over the field and just have a lot of fun. What I want to do. Run the ball, son. You got to run the ball. You got to control tempo. You got to break down the defense slowly. You got to do that when you face good teams. No, you just want to stop me from having some fun. That's Kellen Moore versus Mike McCarthy. That's the whole issue here. You got a disobedient, immature child not listening to a veteran parent that knows exactly what to do, how to do it, and trying to help you win. And the whole issue is that this was never dealt with from the jump, which is why that's my grievance, if I have one against Mike McCarthy, is he didn't put his foot down, bring out his big belt, instead of whip. Yo, you better listen to me, and you better shut up.
Yeah.
See, that's what he should have done year one.
Yeah.
That's what he should have done year one. He should have pulled out the big belt, and I know some parents don't believe in spanking their kids. I understand. If you don't believe in that, he should have made them go to timeout. We grew up, spoil the child, apply that pressure on his behind, and get your foot over here and stop trying to throw that ball 50 times a game. That's what he should have done.
And see, some of y'all, I already know. Now, the OC capping. Kellen Moore, he was balanced. He was balanced, boss. Y'all just hating on Kellen.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So
y'all think the OC playing when he talking about, I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun. See, boss just talking. Boss, you think you're an OC. The OC, he really think he an OC. Well, don't listen to me. Listen to the actual OC.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So but you learn, you grow.
If you really believe that he learned and grew, you're a fool. And then so I can show you out his own mouth him saying that he wants to throw all day. And so when we say he pass happy, you'll get stat nerds that'll send me tweets like, Bus, and tag me, Bus, Kellen Moore is balanced. No, bruh. Well, okay, just dig a little deeper, son. If you just dig a little deeper and don't look at surface data, if you actually look into the concepts of what they're saying, not what it ends up being at the end, you'll start learning the mentality of your OC versus your head coach. But if you're a stat nerd who like to live and die on only surface stats, you will miss this.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So, but you learn, you grow.
Oh, y'all just picking on Kellen, boss. You like Dak. See, you just like Dak. That's the problem. You like Dak. You a Dak apologist. You just make excuses for Dak. It's like, why can't we just have a grown conversation? Why can't we really just break this down and look at concepts, what they're saying, the power dilemmas, the actual offense, what they actually said themselves about the dilemmas of option routes? Why can't we just really dig into the details and talk this through? Why we got to be surface by calling out people motives? Maybe because you got an agenda. Maybe because you the one that want to be surface in your analysis by only blaming quarterbacks. Some of us actually want to solve problems. If you want to solve problems, you got to go deep into your analysis versus just doing blame. You have to really look and analyze all words, all games, all play-by-plays, put it all together, and then come out with a solution. That's my opinion. What's your thoughts, OC?
Yeah, man, I think at the end of the day, you're going to see a 360 view on this. We got some great content coming about a championship offense, and we're going to do some film on that cover 6. If you hadn't seen that video, you need to check that one out. That's probably one of the most informative videos I've ever done, but we'll back it up with film since you guys requested that. And so what we're doing is we're showing a 360 of it, because if you don't understand history and you don't understand what happened to you, then you're doomed to repeat it, okay? Thank you, Roy Williams, for the $5 super chat. He said, like I said before, Philbin was a direct threat to Moore. That's why he's gone. Yeah, I agree. So you weaken the king by assassinating his strongest generals. And that's exactly what happened to some of Mike McCarthy's confidants, which is extremely sad. It's extremely sad.
Speak up, OC. Speak up. Speak up. Just talk.
It's weak, man. It's weak. And it's a sucker punch. It's a sucker punch. It's super weak and it's a punch. So you're going to get 360 view and content with some of these videos that'll be coming out, man. So agree with your boss, Cowboy, on that.
All right, so check this out. Here we go. Going to the other parts of what I said on the fan. Listen.
Hall of Famers got to literally speak against Kellen Moore by name. Emmett did it. Irvin did it.
Oh, let me rewind.
Different direction. And Mike McCarthy even said that they had to win an identity when they was winning with Cooper Rush running the ball. Kellen Moore comes out that exact same week and say sometimes we're going to have to throw it. A direct contradiction. So how many Hall of Famers got to literally speak against Kellen Moore by name? Emmett did it. Irvin did it. Then you had Aikman did it. Now you had Bill Parcells did it. Kurt Warner just did it. So how many Hall of Famers got to say Kellen Moore while we saying Dak Prescott? Like, it don't make sense. Like, how many trusted people literally gonna say his name before we get it?
I love it, Marcus. That's a great call, man. You make some terrific points.
Yeah, I saw you out the wall coming out.
Moose Daryl Johnston to that list.
And that's not what you should do. That's why I'm questioning some of the things that transpire.
We see both these teams here at the Super Bowl. It's so easy for them to feed the ball to Cooper Kupp,
right,
Odell, even Chase. Why is it so hard for Dallas to be able to feed the ball to CD and Amari?
Creativity, or the lack thereof creativity. When you have quality wide receivers like Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
This was last year too, y'all. See, that's the worst part about this, OC. It's already been public heat on Kellen Moore, and a lot of it. But see, ain't nobody gonna tell the truth that they ignored it. That the front office straight up ignored multiple Hall of Famers, and it hit them right in their face again.
CeeDee Lamb, Gallup at the time, Wilson, and others. You create matchup issues by moving them all around. They should be able to run routes, and they should be interchangeable. I mean, they need to get their act together in terms of calling consistent plays.
Who called plays? Who called plays?
That are giving our guys and doing the thing.
Oh, boss, he wasn't talking about Kellen Moore. You just a Dak apologist. You just cap for Dak. You put on a cape for Dak. You like Dak. You go ride for Dak. You a Dak rider. Okay.
Things that you talked about, creating ways for these guys to get the ball in their hands instead of the standard way of doing it. The creativity that I would expect from Kellen Moore.
Oh, he actually said the name.
Needs to continue to evolve, and we need to take advantage of that.
And my number one issue this whole offseason was Kellen Moore.
Oh, I said this going into the season, talking to now Novacek and Isaiah.
Now, because he has the number one offense in yards and points, but Michael Irvin spoke out, Emmitt Smith spoke out, Jimmy Johnson spoke out, Aikman spoke out about the lack of adaptability in his system and not really targeting playmakers. My suggestion is this: keep your system, Kellen, but you have to be able to turn a knob that when that's not working, go at your stars. I want to get you guys' opinion on that because we heard from the other, Hall of Famers and legends. We want to get you guys on record on this.
I like to refer this to as playing basketball.
Okay.
If you got a guy that's all of a sudden hitting from threes,
go at him.
Give him the ball and let him shoot.
I'm gone. You can have my seat. I heard enough.
If somebody, simple deal. When we were playing Green Bay, they did not want Michael and Alvin to catch the ball deep. They did not want Emmitt Smith to run. So they rolled those corners up, played that cover two, and nobody covered me. So we just threw the ball to me, and it was easy.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Simplify the game.
Yeah. I remember in a playoff game, I caught 11 passes. That was the record for the Dallas Cowboys in a playoff game, most receptions. The next week, Michael Irvin broke it with 13. But for 1 week.
I told you.
Telling you now.
You was the bed.
Yeah, buddy. But why not? If they're going to give you something,
take it. Now we have Novacek on record.
Yeah.
Ditto. All right, there it is. Ditto. Well, thank you guys. Hey, it was a pleasure. Thank y'all for giving y'all blood to the Cowboys. I greatly appreciate it.
Is that our offense?
Okay, so OC, this is what's amazing. I can literally show all of that. I can literally show all of that. I can show all these Hall of Famers literally calling Kellen Moore out by name. Now for a whole year. Keep in mind, we was talking about Kellen Moore after the Arizona game last year. And all this stuff began to just add up as we was looking at the evidence. And then now this year, you can even add another potential GOAT to the list of Bill Parcells, who specifically said, I don't see Dallas having a quarterback problem. He literally said, is he the absolute best quarterback? No, but you can win with him. But it's going to be somebody that's going to still jump in here and say, you a Dak apologist. These are excuses. So you got all these Hall of Famers and people that coached, schemed, and played on the highest level, literally saying Dak is not the problem and Kellen Moore is. But we are right now on a Kellen watch. I'm going to be honest. This is insulting. We should not be on a Kellen Moore watch. You can't get rid of the good coaches that are now gone, who actually had good track records. You can say what you want to about George Edwards, but he had a good track record. Many people considered him a potential head coach. You can say what you want to about Skip Pete. You can say whatever you want to, but them balls was not fumbling, and that whole running back room was productive under him. He's gone. Then you can say whatever you want to about Philman. You can say whatever you want. But see, you was clapping. You was clapping when cross training worked. You was excited when we was able to move that whole offensive around. Now, if you say Philman didn't train them, it was Duke. Okay, that's cool. But you gotta be honest and say Philman was responsible for the cross training and the hard decisions, like moving Zach Martin to right tackle when he did. He gone. But we on a watch for a dude that multiple Hall of Famers has already specifically called out and have been calling out for a whole year. I'm insulted. I am frankly insulted. And this is what I do know. Cowboys, we not stupid. Now, some Cowboy fans stupid, but most of us not stupid. That is why Kellen Moore is one of the highest trending names right now on social media, because people are seeing through him, OC, and you taking a big risk with this watch. If you get Kellen Moore back in here, you gonna lose half your fans.
Well, this is what you got to understand about the Joneses. This is a decision about control.
Yep.
The reason why they wanted Kellen Moore here was for control. So for them to dismiss Kellen Moore is to give up their own control.
Yep.
It is a way that you're going to have to bring in somebody else who is actually going to be good enough to ignite this offense, right? And then they lose what they think is perceived continuity. And I say perceived continuity because they know that he's coached with Dak the last several years. They know that he's even with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy don't want him really to be a coach here in terms of running the offense. And so what they're going to do is choose their ace that they feel like they have up their sleeve for the next head coach if he can just prove himself. And what they're looking at this season like, unfortunately, is that we're almost there. We need to grow a little bit more. These are the private conversations. You just need to learn a little bit more. You just need to put a couple more things together. And man, I think he can do it. I think he can do it. So what they're doing, boss, at our expense, unfortunately, as a fan base, is they're holding on to hope because they want control and the influence of having their guy in that position.
Yep.
And that's the bottom line. So unless they resolve that we have to have it right now and we got to win right now, then you don't see anything changing or happening that would really substantiate this guy being out of the building. Why else would you fire everybody that's a threat to him in terms of experience, knowledge, and understanding? Because here, this is where I have a sneaky suspicion. It wasn't just about firing people, right, that was close to Dan Quinn. It was hiring people for knowledge, understanding, and could hold Kellen Moore to the carpet in terms of his decisions, in terms of schemes, alignment, and play calls. And both of those guys could. Philman could. The running backs coach could. The assistant to Mike McCarthy could. He already knew and understood, hey, man, this is the gaps in your game. And, man, bro, we can help you. So that is what the deal is, bro. It wasn't just threats to them. It was threats to Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore comfortable firing. And that's the secret lining about this. It was make Kellen as comfortable as possible. Thus, boss Cowboy, giving Kellen Moore more control. Giving him more control. Double downing on their determination to be in control and let this man run this offense. Unfortunately, this dude didn't get fired.
He ain't getting fired.
Unfortunately.
He not. He not. He is not getting fired, bro.
Yeah, man.
And see, sometimes, sometimes ignorant is bliss. But some of us know too much. Some of us just, well, I'm gonna say this. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this. It's another thing with what you said too, OC. You talked about control. It's also with control. It's a vision of what they want from Kellen Moore. So from the no identity offense, remember they kept saying there are no stars in this system. So Kellen Moore is the ultimate temptation for a budget freak like Stephen Jones. So when you got a budget freak who's always looking for ways to be cheaper, giving up on Kellen Moore is giving up on a vision to try to get systems to beat teams versus playmakers. They don't want to give that up. So what they're doing is they're gambling with contention teams while they're developing Kellen Moore. They are sacrificing the youth and quality of these good teams in hopes that Kellen Moore long term is going to really get this system to work in the league, so they don't have to pay the Amari, so they don't have to pay the Zeke, so they don't have to pay the CD Lamb. They want this offense interchangeable with a bunch of randoms to where we beating you with timing versus playmakers. Because if we beating you with timing versus playmakers, I don't have to pay for playmakers. So that's why, honestly, they are insulting our intelligence. That's why we being insulted like they don't even know. So, because like, for instance, Mike McCarthy came out, right? Mike McCarthy came out and he said they are evaluating Kellen. So he said this the other day. Now let's measure the Kool-Aid on this and let's see if it makes sense.
It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring.
So let's just measure the Kool-Aid at a press conference. Here we go.
Yeah, I think you just have to look at, all those opportunities, but consultant is more, that's something we've reacted to. That's not something I came in here and said, hey, I need a consultant position. So something that we just made happen because of the uniqueness of the individuals.
In-house defensive coordinator if Dan Quinn ends up getting the head coach?
So he asked him, do you see an in-house defensive coordinator if Dan Quinn was to take a job? So this was the day that Dan Quinn announced that he was coming back. But that morning they asked him, do you have an in-house D coordinator in case Dan gets away? Listen.
Both those guys have been in this business a long time, and and they have goals and aspirations. I mean, it's not something I came in here and said, "Hey, I need a consultant position." So
here we come. Listen.
Just made happen because of the uniqueness of the individuals. So.
In-house defensive coordinator if Dan Quinn ends up getting the head coach?
I really don't want to get in hypotheticals, but I love our staff. I think Joe.
You love your what? You love your who? OC. Who did he say he loved?
What's that?
His staff. So that means even the day he said he's evaluating Kellen Moore, but he's definitive that he has a what? Staff.
Correct.
Which tremendous. I think we got, I think we got a number of guys that can continue to grow. And I think when you look at the staff design.
Hold on. Wait, OC. I thought everybody was being evaluated, OC. I thought everybody was being evaluated. So over here, you're able to say Joe Witt could be the next in line, but with Kellen Moore, it's we're evaluating. What that says to me, OC, and I want to turn it over to you. It says to me it's an eternal fight going on. It's some people that want Kellen Moore gone. It's some other people in the building that want Kellen Moore to stay. And I bet you $1 million they are having major deliberations on this weekend. To me, that's what's going on. It's people in the building that's like, man, this dude needs to go. He gotta go. And I bet you $1 million front office, especially Stephen Jones, want Kellen Moore to stay for future budget purposes. You know what I'm saying? Because you basically contradicted yourself. You said everybody is under evaluation, but yet you spoke about Joe Witt as if he's a definite into your future. So when it comes to Quinn, we able to celebrate. Hey, we got Quinn back. When it comes to Joe Witt, we can say he is a future potential replacement for Dan Quinn. But then when it comes to Kellen Moore, we supposed to believe that it's just that we're evaluating. Okay, my name Willie Foo, and that don't smell like fart.
Well, let me say.
Speak up to OC. You gotta.
Here it is. I think that the people that wanted Kellen Moore to be gone the most have already been fired. That's what I think.
Ooh.
The people that were allowed is that had the best and biggest case have already been dismissed or not renewed. Their contract really not renewed. All right. So here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. When you talk about this whole nefarious, going back to my guy's word, man.
Yeah, landlord.
Man, nefarious affair. This is a nefarious affair. Okay. At the end of the day, the coaches that have experience and knowledge do not want Kellen Moore in that position. The front office is the fight that wants him there, but I'm gonna tell you, they're winning the fight. They're winning the fight. They're telling Mike McCarthy, and I brought this analogy up before, man, I want you to make a gourmet meal. I want you to make a gourmet meal. I want you to make a steak and lobster dinner, all right? But here's the problem. I'm going to give you a pork chop, and I want you to make that pork chop taste like steak. That's what they doing to him right now. Because Kellen Moore is that pork chop. He ain't that filet mignon. And that's the whole issue with this thing. So now if you look at this thing and you even deliberate it out even further, man, even further is this. Kellen Moore is bent on running his system.
Yep.
Kellen Moore and the front office, okay, is really insulting the entire NFL and the rest of the 31 teams that play. I'm going to tell you how. They really think that they can duplicate a unicorn experience, which is what happened with the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady when they went on the run a bunch of Super Bowls in a 10-year period, right? Without having the head coach that has an IQ of Belichick, the quarterback that has the IQ of a Brady, no offense to Dak, and also the weapons that used to be quarterbacks and have super ultra high IQs. They think they can duplicate that in today's NFL and beat the rest of the league. And I'm going to tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it because it's too much talent and coaches catch up and they are too smart for you to do that. This is why what San Francisco did to us, dared us to throw it deep, knew the pass rush was going to hit home, covered underneath hard, and shut us down pretty much all game. And if you watch the video that'll be coming out in a few hours, I'll break down why. In that video, you cannot do this with this system in today's NFL. They're trying something that is not going to work in the name of saving a buck and maintaining control versus just going out here and getting the pieces that you need so you can win the Super Bowl. And that's the problem with this, boss.
And then Steven said, or they were the fat that needed to be cut. So you was making an assumption that likely those guys was probably in opposition to Kellen Moore, and Steven said, and I respect the thought. You know, I like counter thoughts. That give us a chance to address it. I don't see these guys as fat. Like, okay, if these guys was fat, what about the performances with the groups under them made them fat? Because I've always said you judge players by their individual performance, you judge coaches by the groups in which they lead. So how did the linebacker group do under George? How did the running back group do under Skip? How did the offensive linemen do with filming? Because I don't see fat that needed to be cut. I just don't. I respect your thought, but I just don't see it. I don't see the logic. Now, when you compare who was already called fat, Hall of Famers literally already called Kellen Moore fat. And they've been doing it for a whole year. So I'm just trying to make sense of this. How do some of these guys, you could literally argue that Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells could be in the GOAT category of coaches. You could literally make a good case for that. Now you got both of those guys saying your quarterback can win it all, and the problem is Kellen Moore, and they saying them by name. To me, they already said what the fact was. But we sitting here all weekend pretending like we don't know that they finna bring back Kellen Moore. Calling it a Kellen Moore watch. So you got all these coaches that was evaluated and cut, but it's one that we're still looking over. The same one. Okay, this is me last year calling in to the fan. Watch this.
Okay, what you thinking?
Well, what I'm thinking is, what do you think the Cowboys are going to do about 5 Hall of Famers that literally called out Kellen Moore by name by not targeting his best guy? I want to get some thoughts on that.
Talking about all those former players.
Yeah.
So to me, the fact is clear. It's clear.
Let me get the super. Yeah, the $5 super chat. He said Kellen is not creative enough to come up with a new system like Dan Quinn did.
Agree. Well said.
Agree. And then Steve White came back and said our running game and our running back slacked toward the end of the year. And so that's what he was talking about. Fat. And I agree with you. I agree with you a little bit on that. But this is what you got to understand, Steve. And I thank you for joining the show. Respect the comment. Is that, A, Ezekiel Elliott wasn't healthy. I think you got to get another running back that's explosive in here, regardless if you keep Pollard and Zeke. I don't care. You need another explosive running back, period. And then you also got to understand this, that the centerpiece for this run game and offensive line was Terrence Steele, and he went down. And we progressively didn't do quite as good ever since that guy was injured, man. I'm being honest about that. Unless you did overload formations, he was a huge key. But that had nothing to do with the coaching and the decision-making. That was a product of injuries and circumstance, right? Philman did a great job in particular. I don't understand that because he did a great job cross-training and interworking the pieces of this offensive line to put us in a great position when we did have injuries, by the way, right? The running back coach got the highest productivity and also carries out of Pollard this year, right? And he mixed in Malik Davis in a game or two. So I'm saying to you, I don't really get where the fat is in that scenario because if you bring in a new offensive line coach, I guess they will, somebody they like or that Kellen Moore likes, I think, somebody that Kellen Moore agrees with, okay, then you risk the continuity and everything that Philman taught the last couple of years, and you're reteaching a new line that performed overall pretty well all year. What's the logic in that? Where is the continuity in that? Where is the security in that? And you blow up the linebacker room with a guy that we don't even know who the new coach is, and you got a new running backs coach. Unless you're gonna get rid of both of them, unless you're getting rid of Zeke and Pollard, all right, then okay, maybe I understand you got to be running backs coach because you're starting all over. that's the real long-term plan. But otherwise, man, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and I respect it. Sometimes people go think different, but I just don't see no fat on those coaches. I just don't. I felt like all the stuff that we loved, they put into place, and then look at what George Edwards was working with. He wasn't working with no brand new linebackers. That dude was working with, his leader was LVE, which the whole league didn't want. And for the most part of the year, LVE was gun shy. He was timid. He only lost his timidity when Clark started playing with a similar injury. And when Clark was fearless, then it built his courage back up. But for the most part, for the whole year, George Edwards was working with a bad hand and filming. You lost T. Smith in training camp. You had movement all over that line. And then you lose. So I'm finna conclude this real quick and just kind of wrap it up. We can get caught up in the X's and O's, all right? We can talk about X's and O's, and we can start talking about, whatever we see is different. But if we just look at this from common sense, from literal public statements, all right? If we just look at this from literal public statements, just keeping it simple, there is no way you should keep Mike McCarthy with Kellen Moore. Mainly because Mike McCarthy is being held accountable to what he can't control. I want to say what the OC said on the final word because it was profound. He said, Dak, don't take accountability for what you do not control. That also goes for you, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, this is the year that you got to be ready to turn over tables. This is the year. Because once again, we can see the writing on the wall before it happened. Likely by Monday, they go announce that they are retaining Kellen Moore. They didn't do it this Friday because Friday's a slow news day. They want to get the advantage of a new media cycle, which starts on Mondays. They know they bringing back Kellen, but they want to get the maximum news benefit out of it. They bringing him back. And it's unfortunate, but he should be gone, and it's obvious. Now you can be like that song that say, I don't wanna know if you playing me, keep it on the low, 'cause my heart can't take it anymore. See, that's some of y'all. But see, I'm not gonna ignore the facts of what was said publicly. I'm not going to put my head in the ground and act like my head coach did not say, and he did say, I have not been a fan of option routes, period. And then on top of that, he said, I've never been in a system that ran option routes this aggressive.
As far as many people that do run the option routes. And so I think you see a lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower.
I don't want to know if you playing me, keep it on the low. 'Cause Kellen Moore can't handle it no more. He go run his option routes anyway, 'cause he wait.
Earlier in your play calling career, were you as persistent with the run when you're kind of beating your head against the wall like that?
Everything inside of me wanted to throw the football the entire Sunday. So, but you learn, you grow.
Shout out
Boss
Coach
Cowboy
Miles.
Sports,
Yeah.
where your voice matters.
Run it up.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank our plays. So let it show. Well, Mickey, we let it show, baby. It's the most important game of the year. So there it is, man. Salute, follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. Watch for the video to drop in the next couple hours, man. We got some more coming out today and tomorrow. You guys can hear Boss Cowboy Sports.
Yep. Yeah, man. The OC dropping.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Bringing real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Run it up.
Another one.